One Act Play Fiesta 2022.
Every year, our school has been organizing this event, and without doubt, it is the most awaited event amongst us Marians. Now, before we commence, I would like to request all of you to kindly stand for the national anthem.
Let's now join our hands and remain in silence for some time.
Dear God, we pray for our world. Today, we pray for peace and hope to abound. Many have been troubled by natural disasters, conflicts, and the results of a global pandemic. In challenging times, help us to turn to you as our source of strength and hope. Lord, we especially pray for people of Ukraine who have suffered and continue to do so. For this, we pray to you, O Lord, hear our prayers.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhavate Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhavate Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhavate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Now, please allow us to introduce to you the panel of judges. Reverend Father Daniel Bara S.J., Manager of St. Xavier School, Jaulakhel, Lalitpur.
Mrs. Reema Lepcha Chetri, English Language Teacher, Modern Indian School, Chobar, Kathmandu.
Mrs. Asha Kharka, English Language Teacher, DAV School, Dhobighat, Lalitpur. May I now take the honor of inviting Reverend Sister Lillian CJ to put forth her
on behalf of our Honorable Sister Jessie, the Regional Superior, and director of the CJ schools in Nepal, Reverend sisters, teachers, and students of our one-act play participants, I am delighted to welcome you dear teachers and students of the joint schools and the neighboring schools and respected parents. It is my happy privilege to welcome the honorable judges of our today's event, that is Reverend Father Daniel Bara SJ, the manager of St. Xavier School, Chavlekar, Mrs. Rima Lecture Chetri from Modern Indian School, and Mrs. Asha Katka from DAV School. Thank you for accepting our invitation. So let's put our hands together once again to welcome them. My best wishes to the participants of the one-act play from the 4 houses and to the house moderators. I now declare the One-Act Play Festival 2022
Thank you,
open.
sister. Today, 4 plays will be staged by each of the 4 houses in the following order: red, green, blue, and yellow.
Each house will be given 20 to 25 minutes to stage their plays with an interval of 5 minutes between each of the plays. Without further ado, let us now begin today's program.
Merry Christmas, world! I just wished I had heaps of money and plenty of servants, so I'd never have to work again.
You could be a proper actress, of course.
I have lots of wishes, but my favorite one is to be an artist and go to Paris and do fine pictures and be the best painter in the world.
That's what you want to, isn't it, Joe? To be a famous writer?
Yes, but it sounds so crass when she says it.
My wish is to have us all together with father and mother in this house.
What about your music, Queen Bess?
I only do that for us. I don't need anyone else to hear it.
You must not limit yourself. Well, Mother proposed not having any presents this Christmas as our men are suffering in the army. We can't do much, but we should put in a little sacrifice and do it. Don't blame Mother just because she's not home. Don't, Joe, it's so boyish. Ow! Watch my nose, it's already no good. Look, I know you don't care what I think, but you're ruining Christmas. And if Mother
I know how to say Christmas. Merry Christmas, girls.
Merry Christmas, Marty.
Tell us about your day, Mommy. Well, we needed socks and blankets for the soldiers in the Aid Society. And a letter came from Father. Where's Joe?
What did you tell us, Mommy?
We'll wait for Joe. Now, I want to hear about what you did today.
Rodrigo has returned!
Oh, Mommy! Where did you get that tree from, Joe?
I borrowed it from Mr. Lawrence.
Well, take it back immediately.
Take it back? Would you bring back a chicken if you chopped off its head?
Do let us keep it.
Please, Mommy.
No, destroying someone else's property. We can take it to the orphanage. They have so little. Good. The tree goes to the orphanage then. But what about Mr. Lawrence?
What about him? You cut down my perfectly grown tree? I shall have you arrested.
I'll make it up to you, sir. I'll plant 6 more.
12
And also, I'll chop your firewood for a few days.
weeks. I hope such an incident does not happen again. You have spoiled my garden. And my day.
He loves his trees. I'm Theodore Lawrence, but well, everyone calls me Laurie. And this is Mr. John Brooke, my tutor. Would you take this tree to the orphanage?
You don't have to do that.
Yes, of course. Marmy, the letter.
Give them all my love. Tell them I think of them by day, pray for them by night, and find my best comfort and their affection at all times. I know they will be loving children to you, do their duty faithfully, fight their enemies bravely, and conquer themselves so beautifully that when I come back to them, I may be prouder than ever of my little women.
I'm so happy. Father will be back home in a year and we'll have a beautiful reunion.
Oh, good morning, Aunt March. How are you feeling good? Well, Aunt March. Would you like a cup of tea? Sure. Josephine, no woman can leave her own way. You'll need to marry one fine day.
But you're not married, Aunt March.
Well, that's because I'm rich.
Oh, so the only way to be an unmarried woman is to be rich?
Yes?
But there are precious few ways for women to make money.
That's not true. You could run a cat house or go on the stage. Practically the same thing. Other than that, yes, you are right. There are precious few ways for women. That's why you should heed me, so that you can live a better life than your poor mother has.
Yes, but she was right.
It is possible to be right and foolish.
I don't think so.
I just know who I'll dance with.
Who will you dance with, Joe?
You know I never dance.
I cannot dance.
Why can't we all go to the party? It's not fair. Stop whining like a little child, Amy.
May I please? Can I go, please?
Can't go, Amy. So don't act like a baby and whine about it.
Well, I get stuck up here. Beth has her piano and I'm so lonely. I can teach you chords. I don't want chords. I'm gonna go to the party.
You will not come. Let's go back.
No.
Let's go.
Please. Please.
You'll be sorry for this, Joe March.
You will be. Stop looking at me like that. Now, I'll turn her precious thing into a mess. This is the only way I can repay the unhappiness that you put into my platter. Meg.
My apologies.
Miss March, isn't it?
Yes, Mr. Lawrence, but I'm not Miss March. I'm only Joe.
And I'm not Miss Lawrence. I'm only Laura.
Don't you dance?
Well, I don't know how things work here yet. You see, I've spent most of my life in Europe. But Joe, I'm ready if you can dance with me.
Oh, I can't because
Because what?
I scorched my dress. See?
Never mind that. I'll show you how we can manage. Joe? Oh, Joe, you're here. Oh, hurry, it's late. Oh, no worries. I'll get my carriage ready. Thank you. Hello, Mrs. March. Mother,
Lauren, dear, just call me Marnie.
can I call you Teddy? Yes. I'm Amy. Hello. Well, I must get going. It's getting quite late. Thank you for your help, Laurie.
Bye, Teddy. You're welcome to visit whenever you'd like.
But did you see how good Laurie looked? Well, I met Laurie's tutor, John, and we danced together. Oh my, he's so charming. Has anyone taken my novel?
Amy, you've got it.
No, I haven't.
That's a lie!
Listen, I haven't got it. I don't know where it is and I don't care. I burned it. I burned it. I told you I'll make you pay and I did.
said the only thing you care about is writing, and it's not like I can hurt you by ruining one of the dresses. And I really did want to hurt you, but I'm the most sorry for it now. Please forgive me. Please.
Joe, don't let the sun go down on anger. Forgive her, help each other, and you can begin again tomorrow.
She does not deserve my forgiveness. I hate her! I'll hate her forever!
Joe, please. Joe, please, forgive me. Please, Joe. Joe, please.
The soldiers of the Union Army were harmed again?
I need to get to Washington as soon as I can to take care of your father. Is your back yet from Aunt March?
No, I haven't seen him.
If she doesn't come back soon, I'll miss the last train.
Hello, Mrs. March. If I may be of any more assistance, please tell me. I look in on the girls every day without fail. And Beth, I've heard you have a great talent for the piano. You're welcome to come and play whenever you want.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Lawrence, for everything.
Will this be enough for the train?
$25? This isn't like Aunt March to be so generous.
Oh, I didn't go to Aunt March. Couldn't bear to.
Then where did you get this money from?
I only sold what was my own. My book. But it wasn't enough. So I sold my...
You're born?
No, I'm not bald!
Joe, I'm so proud that you're my daughter. My girls, be good to each other. Pray for father's recovery, and I'll be back as soon as I can.
Oh, Martin, wait! I'll go to see you off. Look! Something came from the neighborhood. What is it? Mr. Lawrence got you. Why is it so heavy?
Oh, this is the best gift of my life.
Why don't you play something to commemorate this joyous day? Seems like scarlet fever. Should we send for a mother? No, we should worry her. We'll nurse her, and she'll get better. She must take care of her. I'll be right back. Wait. Meg is deeply in love with John, so she married. Amy off to Europe. And now that you're a graduate, you'll be off on a long holiday. And I'm not good like that, so I'm angry and restless.
But you don't have to stay here, Joe.
Why? Should we run off and join a pirate ship? No, David. Please don't.
No, it's no use, Joe. We've got to have it out. I have loved you ever since I've known you, Joe. I couldn't help it. But I must make it here now. And give me an answer because I can't go on like this any longer.
You're a great deal. Too good for me. And I'm so grateful to you and so proud of you. And I just don't see why I can't love you as the way you want me to. I don't know why.
You can't?
I can't change what I feel. And it would be a lie to say I do when I don't. It would be a disaster.
No, we wouldn't be a disaster.
We'd be miserable. We both have such quick tempers.
If you love me, Joe, I will be a perfect saint. And everyone expects it. My grandpa and your family. Just say yes and let's be happy together, Joe.
You'll find some lovely, accomplished girl who will adore you and make a fine mistress for your fine house. I won't. Just look at me. I'm so homely. I'm odd and awkward, and you'd be ashamed of me.
Anything more? See, I'm happy as I am. I love my liberty.
You know, I think you will find someone and love him tremendously, Joe.
No,
And I'll watch.
Daddy.
Well, now that we have come to the end. Just kidding. That was just everything that happened in the past. Fast forward a few years later, we get more ups and downs. Now, for our sisters, I live in Paris with Aunt Marge. I got to go instead of Joe because of Beth fever. So, recently I met Laurie in Paris. Well, I invited him to Fred, my fiance's ball. Well, he arrived, but misbehaved. I didn't know what to say, so we haven't talked since then. Hello, Amy. I do not want to see you. Oh, Amy, I'm so sorry for how I behaved. Forgive me, please. Well, someone has to do it. So, when do you begin your great work of art, Raphael? Never. What? Why? Rome took all vanity out of me, and Paris made me realize I would never be a genius. So I'm giving up all my foolish artistic hopes. Then, what are you going to do with your life? Polish out my other talent and be an ornament to the society. This is where Fred Vaughan comes in, I suppose. You're not engaged, I hope? No. But you will be, if he goes down properly on one knee. Most likely, yes. He's richer than you even. I understand that queens of society can't get on without money. But it does sound odd coming from one of your mother's girls. Well, I've always known I would marry rich. Why should I be ashamed of that? There's nothing to be ashamed of, as long as you love him. How do I look? Do I look alright? You look beautiful. You are beautiful. Don't marry him, Amy. What? You heard me. Don't marry him. You're being mean, Laurie. How am I being mean? I've been second to Joe my whole life and everything, and I won't be a person to settle with just because you cannot have her. I won't. I won't do it. Not when I've spent my entire life loving you.
I feel weaker, can't feel the divine embrace. Joe, I know I shall be homesick for you all, even in heaven. No, Beth, I won't let you go.
What is gone, but what is around is our own. After Beth leaves for the heavenly abode, each Mark sister's life takes a different turn.
Joe? Joe? Oh, Teddy! Amy! It's been so long! You're back together?
Well, we have something to tell you. Now we are man and wife.
What? You and Amy?
It'll happen very quickly.
I couldn't write because it all happened so quickly, and I worried you'd be angry. No, of course not.
So, you're not angry?
Life is too short to be angry at one's sisters. I will miss her. I know.
Joe?
Coming! I'm starving.
Joe, dear, you might not want to eat it. You have a visitor.
Good day, Joe.
Oh, Professor!
I have come to give you a letter that the publisher has sent.
Oh my! Greetings, Miss March. Your story, Little Women, was okay overall. But if you want it published, make sure the girl is married or dead at the end. No worries. I've decided. I want to
publish my own book and be the stepping stone for all female authors. This Little Women will be the lighthouse for all little women in the world.
I wish you a good luck, Jill.
Thank you, Professor. Oh, Marmee, you're here! Happy birthday, Marmee!
Thank you.
And everyone's here too. When did you come?
When you were talking to yourself.
Of all the enjoys in all the towns, in all the world, she walks into mine.
Anya Kimiri as Renault. Shriya Manandar as Bobby.
These are very important documents.
And I, Eva Dimari, as the narrator.
Hello, Rick.
Hello, Bobby.
I have something for you.
What are those?
These are very important documents that I need you to keep safe.
For how long?
Not long, maybe an hour or two. But I'm running quite late today. I'll see you around.
He's there! He's there!
With the coming of the Second World War, many eyes in imprisoned Europe turned hopefully, or desperately, towards the freedom of the Americas. Lisbon became the great embarkation point
But not everybody could get to Lisbon directly. And so a tortuous roundabout refugee trail sprang up. Paris to Marseille, across the Mediterranean to Oran, and then, by train, or auto, or foot, across the rim of Africa to Casablanca. Here, the fortunate ones, through money, or influence, or luck, could get often exit visas and scurry to Lisbon, but the others, way to Casablanca.
Who do you think win the war?
I haven't the slightest idea.
You are completely neutral about everything. Rick, do you see that man over there? That man has arrived in Casablanca on his way to America. He will offer a fortune to anyone who can furnish him with an exit visa.
Yeah? What's his name?
Victor Laszlo.
Victor Laszlo.
Rick, this is the first time I've ever seen you so impressed.
Well, he succeeded in not impressing half the world.
Well, it is my duty to see that it doesn't impress the other half. Rick, Laszlo must never reach America. He stays in Casablanca.
It'll be interesting to see how he manages.
Manages what?
He'd escape.
But I just told you.
Stop it. He escaped from a concentration camp, and the Nazis have been chasing him all over Europe.
This is the end of the chase.
Okay?
No matter how clever he is, he still needs an exit visa. Or should I say, two?
Why two?
Don't you see that empty seat next to him? He is traveling with a lady.
He'll take one.
I think not. I have seen the lady, and if he did not leave her in Marseille or in Oran, he certainly won't leave her in Casablanca.
Maybe he's not quite as romantic as you are.
It doesn't matter. There is no exit visa for him.
Louis, whatever gives you the impression that I might be interested in helping Laszlo escape?
Because, my dear Ricky, I suspect that under that cynical shell, you're at heart a sentimentalist. A woman comes in the front door. Miss Ilsa Land. As Ilsa walks up to a round table to take a seat next to Victor, she passes by the piano, and the woman looks at Sam.
2 glasses of wine, please.
Yes, monsieur. Monsieur Laszlo, is it not?
Yes?
I am Captain Reynolds, Prefect of Police.
Yes. What is it you want?
Merely to welcome you to Casablanca and wish you a pleasant stay. It is not always we have so distinguished a visitor.
Thank you. May I present Miss Ilsa Land?
I was informed you were the most beautiful woman to ever visit Casablanca. That was a gross understatement.
You are very kind. Won't you join us?
If you will permit me. Emil, a bottle of your best champagne and put it on my bill.
No, Captain, please.
Oh no, monsieur, please. It is a little game we play. They put it on the bill, I tear the bill up. It is very convenient.
Captain, the boy who's playing the piano. Somewhere I've seen him.
Sam,
Yes.
he came here from Paris with Rick.
Rick. Who's Rick?
Mademoiselle, you are in Rick's, and Rick is...
Is what?
Well, mademoiselle, he's the kind of man that, if I were a woman and I were not around, I should be in love. But what a fool I am, talking to a beautiful woman about another man. Forgive me, monsieur, but I need to attend to the other guests as well.
Sure. This time, they really need to stop me from getting to America.
Victor, I'm afraid for you.
We have been in difficult places before, haven't we? Let me teach you by the part.
Be careful.
I will. Don't worry.
Hello, Miss Ilsa. I never expected to see you again.
It's been a long time, Sam.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, lots of water under the bridge.
Some of the old songs, Sam.
Yes, ma'am. Where's Rick? I don't know. I ain't seen him all night. When will he be back? Not tonight no more. He ain't coming. He went home.
Does he always leave so early?
Oh, he never. Well, he's got a girl up to the parrot. He goes up there all the time.
You used to be a much better liar, Sam.
Oh, leave him alone, Miss Ilsa. You're bad luck to him.
Play it, Sam. For old time's sake.
I don't know what you mean, Miss Ilsa.
Play it, Sam. Play as time goes by.
I don't think I can remember it. I'm a little rusty on it.
I'll hum it for you. Sing it, Sam.
You must remember this. A kiss is just a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by.
Stop! I thought I told you never to play!
Well, you were asking about Rick, and here he is. Mademoiselle, may I present?
Hello, Ilsa.
Hello, Rick. Oh, you've already met Rick, Mademoiselle? Well, then perhaps you also.
This is Mr. Laszlo.
How do you do?
How do you do?
One hears a great deal about Rick in Casablanca.
And about Victor Laszlo everywhere.
Won't you join us for drinks?
Oh no, Rick never.
That I will.
Well, a precedent is being broken. Emil?
This is a very interesting cafe. I congratulate you.
And I congratulate you.
What for?
Your work.
Thank you. I tried.
We all try. You succeed.
I can't get over you two. She was asking about you earlier, Rick. In a way, that made me extremely jealous. I wasn't sure you were the same. Let's see. The last time we met.
Miss La Belle Aurore.
How nice. You remembered. But of course, that was the day the Germans marched into Paris.
Not an easy day to forget.
No.
I remember every detail. The Germans were gray, you were blue.
Yes, I put that dress away. When the Germans march out, I'll wear it again. Ricky, you're becoming quite human. I suppose I need to thank you for that, mademoiselle.
Ilsa, I don't wish to be the one to say it, but it's late. I hope we didn't overstep mountain.
Not at all.
We'll come again.
Anytime.
Say goodnight to Sam for me.
I will.
Good night.
The customers have all gone. The house lights are out. Rick sits alone at a table. There's a glass of bourbon on the table directly in front of him, and another empty glass on a table before an empty chair. Near at hand is a bottle. Rick fills his glass and drinks it quickly. He just sits. His face is entirely expressionless. The beacon light from the airport sweeps around the room, creating a mood of unreality. Sam comes in and stands hesitantly beside Rick.
Boss? Boss? Yeah.
Are you ever going to bed?
No.
Well, I ain't sleep either.
Good. Then have a drink.
No, not me, boss.
Then don't have a drink.
Boss, let's get out of here.
No, sir. I'm waiting for a lady.
It's nothing but trouble for you here.
She's coming back! I know she's coming back!
We'll take the car, we'll drive all night, we'll get drunk, we'll go fishing and stay away until she's gone.
Shut up and go home, will you?
No, sir. I'm staying right here.
Of all the gin joints, in all the towns, in all the world, she walked
mine. What's that you're playing?
Just a little something of my own.
Well, stop it. You know what I want to hear.
No, I don't.
You played for her and you played for me.
I don't think I can remember it.
If she gets that, I can. Play it.
Yes, boss.
It's raining very hard at the train station. Fevered excitement evident in the faces of the people that pass by. This is the last train from Paris. Rick appears in the crowd. He stops and puts his suitcase down and glances at his watch. Suddenly, Sam appears. Sam pulls an envelope from his pocket. Rick grabs it, opens it, and stares down at the letter.
Richard, I cannot go with you or ever see you again. You must not ask why. Just believe that I love you. Go, my darling, and God bless you. Ilsa.
All aboard. Last train leaving in 3 minutes. We now see Rick's face, and he's very drunk. Just then, the door opens. And it's Ilsa. Rick stares at the doorway. Ilsa lingers a moment, then comes over to the table.
Rick, I have to talk to you.
Oh, I say you went for a drink to have with you. Here.
No, Rick, not tonight.
Especially tonight.
Please, Rick.
Why did you have to come to Casablanca? There are other places.
I wouldn't have come if I had known you were here. Believe me, Rick, it's true, I didn't know.
It's funny about your voice, how it hasn't changed. I can still hear it. Richard, dear, I'll go into any place. We'll get on a train together and never stop.
Please, don't, Rick. I can understand how you feel.
You understand how I feel? How long was it we had, honey?
I didn't count the days, Rick.
Well, I did. Every single one of them. Mostly, I remember the last one. A wow finish. A guy standing at a platform station, in the rain, with a comical look on his face, because his insides had been kicked out.
Can I tell you a story, Rick?
Has it got a wow finish?
I don't know the finish yet.
But go on, tell me. Maybe one will come to you as you go along.
It's about a girl who had come to Paris from her home in Oslo. At a friend's house, she met a man about whom she'd heard her entire life. A very great and courageous man. He opened up for her this whole new world, full of knowledge and thoughts and ideals. Everything she knew or ever became was because of him. And she looked up to him and worshipped him with the feeling she supposed was love.
Yes, that's very pretty. I've heard a story once. As a matter of fact, I've heard a lot of stories in my time. They all went along with the sound of a teeny piano playing in the parlor downstairs. Mister, I met a man once when I was a kid. They'd all begin. I guess neither one of our stories was very funny. Tell me, who was it you left me for? Was it Laszlo, or were there others in between? Or aren't you the kind that tells? I want the truth. Tell me.
I don't think I will, Rick.
Did you run out of me because you couldn't take it? Because you knew what it would be like? Hiding from the police? Running away all the time?
You can believe that if you want to.
Well, I'm not running away anymore. I'm selling now. Above a salon. It's true, but walk up a flight, I'll be expecting you. All the same, one day like Laszlo, he'll be there.
No, Rick, you see, Victor Laszlo is my husband. And was, even when I knew you in Paris. I suppose you already know what I want to hear.
I do, but I'd much rather prefer to hear
Well, I need 2 exit visas arranged for America.
I hope you do know that what you are asking is quite close to impossible, considering your timing.
I am aware. How can you help?
You see, the thing is that I simply cannot. The only person who can help you is Rick.
Rick? I don't understand.
Just before your arrival to Casablanca, there came a man named Bobby and talked to Rick. Despite the limited exchange, I am certain that Bobby gave Rick a bundle of letters. Those are letters of transit signed by General Dugal himself. You get those letters to me. Suppose your right leg has stepped into America. You just need to put your wife to the mission.
My wife?
Ponder upon that, why don't you?
Rick opens the door and goes inside a dimly lit cafe. Rick lights a candle. Just a moment later, Ilsa enters. Her face white but determined. Rick pauses for a moment in astonishment.
How did you get in?
The stairs from the street.
I told you this morning to come around, but this is a little ahead of schedule.
Richard.
Won't you sit down?
Richard, I had to see you.
Here's Richard again. We're back in Paris.
Please, Richard.
Your unexpected visit isn't connected by any chance with the letters of transit. It seems as long as I have these letters, I'll never be lonely.
You can ask any price you want, but you must give me those letters.
I went through all that with your husband. It's no deal.
Richard, we loved each other once. If those days meant anything at all to
I
you.
wouldn't be to Paris if I were you. It's poor salesmanship.
You want to feel sorry for yourself, don't you? With so much at stake, all you can think of are your own feelings. One woman has hurt you, and you take revenge on the rest of the world. You're a coward and a weakling. No. Oh, Richard, I'm sorry, but you are a lost hope. If you don't help us, Victor and Laszlo will die in Casablanca.
We're off it. I'm going to die in Casablanca. It's a good spot for it. Now for you.
All right. I tried to reason with you. I tried everything. Now I want those letters. Get them for me.
I don't have to. I've got them right here.
Put them on the table.
No.
For the last time, put them on the table.
If Laszlo and the cause mean so much to you, you wouldn't stop at anything. All right, I'll make it easier for you. Go ahead and shoot. You're doing me a favor.
Richard, I tried to stay away from you. I thought I'd never see you again. The day you left, if you knew what I went through, if you knew how much I loved you, how much I still love you.
Darling, it's enough. Let it go.
No, Richard, let me speak. I didn't tell you that night, but I will tell you today. You have been a burden. Richard, I call you, oh, what a mockery this is. What a scandal my life has become. I am here begging for the life of a man who has never broken a promise to a man whom my heart wants so wildly that his thumping makes me go deaf in the ears. You are a curse.
Elsa, what is this about? What has gotten into you? All this rage? It's not something to be proud of.
No, but it is something to be scared of.
When love beckons to you, follow him. And when love beckons to you, follow him. Though his ways are hard and steep, and when his wings enfold you, yield to him. Even for love crowns you, so shall he crucify you. These are the words of Khalil Gibran, which has not proven to be more truthful than now, right at this moment. Is it still evil even if a crime is committed for a good reason? Whether it be for love, hope, goodwill, or forgiveness. Don't let love cling you, but let it roam free.
With an independent will. In me lies a story that articulates independence, self-discovery, and flourishment of oneself. I say, my beautiful, I say, fine star, but you will not determine my story. I will.
Prejudice is a burden that confuses the past, threatens the future, and renders the present accessible. If a man's freedom relies on a woman's oppression, then neither of them are free. Our society favors men vindicate themselves by the inequitable gesture proclaimed on women, and society applauds them. Left with no alternative, the women conquer the bigotry with silence, fragility, and indignation. Don't you think so?
Yes, of course. Then shall we share things a little?
As in,
Mind clarifying?
Let me give you an example. For instance, imagine, in the late 1800s in Norway, there's a typical family that appears so on the surface, but underneath is a bricked marriage with false claims of honesty, trust, and transparency. Constant oppression by the culprit, whose strength is the ignorance of the victim.
But, like a ray of hope that shines, even in the darkest times, she musters up the courage in a surrounding, favoring her weakness. She understands and believes herself as a marionette.
Yes, you've got it just right. Shall we then share a story showcasing that voice?
That sounds amazing. All right then. We, the members of Blue House, hereby grandly present to you our play, A Doll's House by Henry Gibson, with our own creative take put into it.
With great pleasure, let me introduce our characters. The cunning, yet innocent. The timid and insecure, yet extremely courageous. Nora Homer.
A condescending man who sees himself as superior, Torvald Helmer.
The unscrupulous Nels Croxton.
The mature and practical Mrs. Christine Lind.
The maid.
Bob and Emmy, Nora and Torvald's children. Without further ado, let's immerse ourselves into Nora's story.
How much?
6 pence, ma'am.
Here's a shilling. Keep the change.
Thank you.
Come in here, Torvald.
Mama,
Are those presents for us?
Yes, these presents are for you. One for Bob, and one for Eddie. Now open these in your bedroom, children.
thanks, Mama.
Come in here, Torvald. See what I've got.
What did you say? All these things? Has my little spendthrift been wasting money again? You know, we can't spend money weightlessly.
Torvald, this year we can really let ourselves go a little. This is the first Christmas that we have not needed to cut back. You are going to have a big salary and earn lots and lots of money. So, I was thinking if maybe I could have some money so as to get something for myself.
You are an all little soul, very like your father. You always find a new way of wheedling money out of me. And as soon as you've got it, it seems to melt in your hands. You never know where it has gone. Still, as it is Christmas Eve, so here you are.
2 pounds? Thank you, Torvald. This will keep me going for a long time.
But it does strike me that my sweet-tooth Skylark is looking rather uneasy. Hasn't the sweet-tooth broken rules, animal sweets, or taken a bite at a macaroon or two? Because you know it affects your appearance, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course not. I haven't had any sweets that would affect my appearance. Perhaps I shouldn't think of going against your wishes.
I have some work. I'll be in my office.
Ask her to come. Hi. How do you do, Nora? Christine? Is it really you? How have you altered? Yes, it is papers. I've been meaning to write to you, but something always prevented me. Please forgive me.
Yes, it is 2 years ago now. I quite understand, dear.
Oh, how tremendously sad it must be for you to be alone without a husband or children. But now you must tell me all about it.
No, I want to hear about you.
No, I mustn't be selfish today. And today I must only think of your affairs. But I have to tell you, we just had a great piece of good luck recently. My husband is to be made manager of the bank.
Manager? What good luck!
Yes, he is to take up his job at the bank in the new years.
Nora, you didn't spend the whole year in Italy, didn't you?
Yes, it was no easy matter to get away. It saved Torvald's life, but it cost about £250. That is a tremendous amount, isn't it, Christine? Though I ought to tell you, we had it from my papa. Just about that time he died. I couldn't even nurse him since I had my poor sick Torvald to look after. Oh, how horrid of me. I've been talking of nothing but my own affairs. You mustn't be angry with me, Christine.
It is you who must not be angry with me, dear. I have no father to pay for my journey, no one to work for, and yet obliged to be always on the lookout for chances. When you told me of the happy turn of your fortunes, you will hardly believe it. I was delighted, not so much on your account as my own.
Oh, I understand. You mean that perhaps Torvald could get you something to do?
Yes, that is what I was just thinking of.
You must, Christine. Just leave it to me.
Thank you so much, Nora.
No, it makes me happy that I can be of some use to you. But tell me, is it true you did not love your husband? Why did you marry him?
My mother was alive then, and was bedridden and helpless, and I had to provide for my 2 younger brothers, so I just had to accept the marriage offer.
Oh, but you must be proud and glad, having worked so hard for your mother and brothers.
I think I have the right to be both glad and proud of what I've done for them.
Yes, I think so too. And I too have something to be proud and glad of.
What are you referring to?
Speak low. Suppose Torvald were to hear? He mustn't on any account. No one in this world must know, Christine, except for you. Come here. I will show you that I too have something to be proud and glad of. Remember I told you about our trip to Italy? Torvald would have never recovered if he had not gone there.
Yes, but your father gave you the necessary funds, right?
Yes, that is what Torvald and the others think, but Papa didn't give us a shilling. It was I who procured the money. £250.
You? All that large sum? Did you win a prize in the lottery or something? Because you surely couldn't have borrowed it. A wife cannot borrow without her husband's consent.
Now, you are full of curiosity, Christine. I never said I had borrowed the money. Perhaps I got it from some other means.
It seems to me imprudent.
Is it imprudent to save your husband's life?
Hi, Mrs. Helmer. It's me.
You? What do you want to see my husband about?
Bank business, in a way. I have a small post in the bank, but I hear your husband is to be chief now. Absolutely nothing but dry business matters, Mrs. Helmer.
Be so good as to go into the office then.
Laura, is that Krogstad, the lawyer?
Yes. How do you know him?
He was a solicitor's clerk in our town many years ago. They say he carries on various kinds of business.
He had a very unhappy marriage. He's a widower now with several children, and about the business, I shouldn't know anything about it. Torvald! Meet Christine. This is Miss Christine Lind who has come to town.
Of course, a school friend of my wife's, I presume.
Yes, we have known each other since then. And just think of it, Christine has taken such a long journey in order to see you. And she is tremendously clever at bookkeeping. I'm sure you'll be able to do something for her, won't you?
Very sensible, Miss Lind. If you have had some experience in bookkeeping, then it's very likely I may be able to find something for you.
How am I to thank you?
There is no need, but you must excuse me now.
Oh, I must go as well and look for a room.
Oh yes, goodbye for now.
Yes, goodbye, Arthur, and many thanks.
Oh no, it's my pleasure.
You? What do you want here? I want to have a word with you.
About what?
May I make so bold to ask if a great friend of yours, a Miss Lind, is to have an appointment at the bank?
You, one of my husband's subordinates, have no right to question me. But yes, Mrs. Lind is to have an appointment at the bank.
Then you will be so good as to use your influence on my behalf.
Whatever do you mean?
You are bold, Mrs. Homer, but listen to me. The bolt at the bank was like the first step for me to get my reputation back. And now your husband is going to kick me down the mud.
I'm sorry, Mr. Krogstad, but it is not in my power to help you at all.
Then it is because you haven't the will, but worry not. I have means to compel you.
You don't mean that you tell my husband that I owe you money?
Listen to me, Mrs. Homer. Either you have a very bad memory, or you know very little of business. I shall be obliged to remind you of a few details. Here is how it goes. When your husband was ill, you came to me to borrow £250. I promised to give you that amount under certain conditions, on a security bond which I drew up. Is that not so?
Yes, and that security bond I signed.
But below your signature, there were a few lines constituting your father the surety of the money. Those lines your father should have signed.
Should? He did sign them.
I'd left the date blank in which your father should have inserted the date himself on the day he signed the paper. Do you remember that?
Yes, I think I remember.
Then I gave you the bond to send to your father by post, because 2 or 3 days later you came to me, back with the bond, and then I gave you the money, right?
Yes.
Mrs. Helmer, can you by any chance remember what day your father died? On what day of the month, I mean?
Papa died on the 29th of September.
Well then, Mrs. Helmer, turns out there has been a discrepancy. The discrepancy? Your father seems to have dated his signature 3 days after his death.
What do you mean? I assure you I don't understand.
Your father died on the 29th of September. But look here! Your father has dated his signature on the 2nd of October. Quite amusing, isn't it? Can you explain it to me, Mrs. Helmer? It was your father himself who signed the paper, wasn't he?
No, it was not. It was I who wrote Papa's name.
What did I just hear?
If I had asked him for that signature, I should have had to tell him what the money was to be used for, and when he was so sick himself, I couldn't tell him that my husband's life was in danger. That was impossible.
Did it never occur to you that you were committing fraud?
Is a daughter not allowed to spare her dying father anxiety? Is a wife not allowed to save her husband's life? If you have no knowledge of laws permitting such conditions, then you must be a very poor lawyer, Mr. Krogstad.
Very well. Do as you please. But let me tell you this. If I lose my position a second time, then you lose yours with me.
Oh, Torvald, you're back so early.
Yes, but has anyone been here?
Here? No, no one.
That is strange. I saw Croxton going out of the gate.
Oh, yes. I forgot he was here for a moment.
Nora, I can see from your manner that you have been lying to me.
No, Torvald, listen.
What?
Tell me, what did Krogstad do?
He forged someone's name. It is quite impossible for me to work with him, who wears a mask of lies and plays a hypocrite role. That is the reason why I have dismissed him.
Torvald, I beg you so earnestly. You must let Krogstad keep his post in the bank.
My poor little Nora, it is his post that I've arranged for Miss Lynn shall have.
Yes, and you have been awfully kind about that, but you could just as well dismiss some other clerk instead of Krogstad.
This is simply incredible obstinacy. That is how it shall be. Now, I shall go into the inner office and shut the door.
I suppose I've got my dismissal letter.
Seems like you haven't taken this matter seriously.
I tried convincing Torvald, but I couldn't prevent it.
Enough is enough! I just wanted this post in the bank which your husband was supposed to make. But I suppose it's too late for you and me. I have a letter for your husband that beholds the truth. When Helmer has received my letter, I shall expect a message from him. And be sure you remember, I will never forgive him for what he has done.
No, Nils, please, no. Please tear that letter up. I will repay you.
What is the matter with you? You look so agitated.
There's a letter in that letterbox. It's from Krogstad. And now Torvald will know all about it. You don't know the entire thing. I forged your name. And now Torvald, he will read that letter and he won't love me anymore.
Nora, you're quite out of your mind.
No, I am not out of my mind. I am in my right senses now, and I tell you, no one else has known anything about it. I alone did the entire thing. Remember that, Christine.
Krogstad must ask for his letter back in red. He must find some pretense. Go into him in the meantime. I will come back as soon as I can. Ah, there he is. Come in. It is absolutely necessary that I should have a talk with you.
Can we two have anything to talk about? It's what was obvious to the entire world. A heartless woman jilts a man when a more lucrative chance turns up.
I had a helpless mother and 2 little brothers. We couldn't wait for you. Unintentionally, Nils. It was only today that I learned it was your place I was going to take at the bank.
When I lost you, it was as if all the solid ground went from under my feet. Look at me now. I'm a shipwrecked man clinging to a bit of wreckage.
You said you were like a shipwrecked man clinging to some wreckage. If so, how would it be if we the shipwrecked people could join forces? Is it too late now?
Christine, are you saying this deliberately?
Yes, I am.
Thanks, Christine. Now that you and I are getting back together, it doesn't matter who takes the post at the bank. Oh, but I forgot. The letter's still in the letterbox. If only I could do what I've done.
No, Nils. You must not recall your letter. It is time that Helmer must know all about it. This unhappy secret must be disclosed. They must have a complete understanding between them, which is impossible with all these falsehoods and concealments going on. Oh, we must leave now. They'll be here soon. The party must be over.
Yes, we must go.
Not a single minute, Nora. Give it to me. Nora, what is this? Do you know what is in this letter? Is this true? That I write here? Horrible! No, it is impossible that it can be true.
I'm afraid it is true, Torvald.
No tragic errors, please. Here you shall stay and give me an explanation. Do you understand what you have done? Answer me. What a horrible awakening. All your father wants a principle has come out in you. No religion, no morality, no sense of duty. How am I punished for having winked at what he did? I did it for your sake. And this is how you repay me? You have ruined my future.
No, Torvald.
No fine speeches. Please. He can make the fury known everywhere. And if he does, it's very likely people will think I was behind it all. That it was I who prompted you. And I have to thank you for all this. Have you ever thought about our children? You know what? I feel that it was a mistake marrying you. I regret marrying such a blind, foolish, and greedy woman. You are the worst wife that a man can get. And I feel sorry for my children for having such a foolish mother.
There's a letter for the mistress
speeches by the lawyer Crossman. Let me read it.
You shall not have it. I will read it myself. Nora, I'm saved, Nora, I'm saved. Look, he says he regrets and repents. Oh, never mind what he says. Nora, we're saved, Nora, we're saved. Nora, what is this? Such a cold, sad face. Oh, my poor little Nora, I quite understand. You don't feel like as if you could believe that I've forgiven you. But I swear it. It's true, Nora. I've forgiven you. Now, you shall not think any more about the hard things that I said in my first moment.
Oh, thank you for your forgiveness.
Nora, wait! What are you doing?
It will take some time. I have a lot to talk over with you.
You allow me, Nora, and I don't understand you.
No, that is just it. You do not understand me, and I have never understood you either before tonight.
What do you mean by that?
We have been married for 8 years. Does it not occur to you that this is the first serious conversation that we've ever had?
What do you mean by serious?
It's always you making the decisions without any proper discussion.
What?
Don't complete that sentence because you have never loved me.
Nora, do you hear yourself?
It is perfectly true, Torvald. When I was at home with my papa, he gave me his opinions about everything. And so I had the same opinions. And if I differed, I concealed the fact because I knew he would have hated it. He called me his little doll child, and he played with me just as I played with my dolls. And when I came to live with you,
what kind of an expression is this to use about our marriage?
It means that I was simply transferred from my papa's hands into yours.
How unreasonable and ungrateful you are, Nora. Have you not been happy here?
No, I have not been happy here. I thought I was, but no. Our house has been nothing but a playroom, and I have been nothing but your doll wife. This is what our marriage has become, Torvald.
Nora! I am your husband. You do not speak back in front of your husband.
No, I have had enough. Today I will speak and you will listen. You said that I'm a bad wife, didn't you? Oh, sorry, the worst wife. If I hadn't borrowed that money from Krogstad, you wouldn't be standing here in front of me, yelling at me. I used that money in your treatment because I loved you. But you didn't feel the same way. Only if I go along with your ideas, only if I'm being the wife you always wanted me to be, have you shown care. You have only manipulated me. You only love me if I serve you without opposing. But today I realize that my husband has never thought of me as his partner. The only idea he has had of me is that of a doll. You said that you regret marrying me, didn't you? Well then, Mr. Torvald Helmer, you shall never see this blind, greedy act ever in your entire life. I wish you a bright life ahead with your children. Because you said you felt bad for your children that they have such a hard time.
Nora, you're out of your mind. I won't allow it. I forbid you. What kind of a madness is this? You blind, foolish woman, to desert your home, your husband, and your children, and you don't consider what people will say? It's shocking.
It is no use forbidding me anything any longer. You are no one to me. You can have your ring back. I can be back now. There. Now it's over.
Nora! You talk like a child. You're delirious. You're ill.
It was tonight that the wonderful thing did not happen. And I saw you were not the man I always thought you were. When Krogstad's letter was lying right there, I never once for a moment thought that my ex-husband would use such harsh words.
Oh, you think and talk like a heedless child.
Maybe think nor talk like the man I could ever bind myself to. As soon as your fear was over, and as far as you're concerned, everything was back to normal. I was your little skylark, your little doll again. Then it was dawned upon me that for 8 years I've been living with a man like you.
Nora! Wait until tomorrow!
I'd spend the night in a strange man's room.
Nora, please give me a second chance.
No, never! I am done being a doll in your dollhouse. I am done being puppeted around by you, and I am done being a mere slave. I wish to never see your face again. Goodbye, Torvald.
Nora, listen to me once!
She's lying down. God help her. And maybe sleeping. if she's able. What is it you have?
The young priest brought them. It's a shirt and a plain stocking that we got of a drowned man in Donegal. We are to find out if they're Michael's. Sometime, Mama herself will be looking down by the sea.
How would they be Michael's, Nora? How would he go to the length of that way to the far north?
The young priest says he's known the like of it. If they're Michael's, says he, you can tell her he's got a clean burial. But if they're not his, let no one say a word about them, for she'll be getting her death, says he, with crying and lamenting.
Did you ask him if he would stop Bartley going this day with the horses to the gallery fair?
I won't stop him, says he, but let him not be afraid. Your mother will be saying prayers half throughout the night, and the Almighty God won't leave her destitute, says he, with no son living.
Is the sea bad by the White Rocks, Nora?
Middling bad. God help us. There's a great roaring in the west. And worse, it'll be getting worse when the tides turn to the wind. Shall I open it now?
Maybe. She'll wake up on us and come in before we're done. It'll be a long time with the two of us crying.
She's moving about on the bed. She'll be coming in a minute.
Pass it to me. Pass it to me quickly. I'll put them in the turf loft. The way she won't know of them at all. And maybe, when the tide turns, she'll go down to see if you'll be floating from the east.
Isn't it often enough you've heard this tea and evening?
There's a cake baking at the fire for a short space. And Bartley will want it when the tide turns if he goes to Connemara.
He won't go this day with the wind rising from the south and the west. He won't go this day, for the young priest will stop him surely.
He won't stop him, Mother. And I've heard Elin, Colin, and almost all the villagers saying he would go.
And where is he himself?
He went down to sea. Would there be another boat sailing in the week? And I'm thinking, it won't be long till he's here now, for the tide's turning at the green heads, and the hookers tacking from the east.
I hear someone passing the big stones.
He's coming now, and he's in a hurry.
Where is the bit of new rope, Jackie? That was bought in Connemara.
Give it to him, Nora. It's on a nail by the white boards. I hung it up this morning for the pig with the black feet who's eating it.
Is that it, Bartley?
You do right to leave that rope, Bartley, hanging by the bones. It will be wanting in this place. I'm telling you, if Michael is washed up tomorrow morning, the next morning, or any other morning in the week, for it's a deed grave that will make him by the grace of God.
No holder, the way I can ride down on the mare. And I must go now quickly. This is the one boat, going for 2 weeks or beyond it. And the fare will be a good fare for horses. I heard them saying below.
It's a hard thing they'll be saying below, if the body is washed up, and there is no man in it to make the coffin. And I, after giving a big price for the finest white boards you would find in Connemara.
How would it be washed up? After us, looking each day, for 9 days, and a strong wind blowing a while back, from the west and south.
If it wasn't found itself, that wind is raising the sea, and there was a star up against the moon with it rising in the night. If it was 100 horses or 1,000 horses you had to sell, what is the price of 1,000 horses against the sun when there is one so lonely?
Let you go down each day and see the sheep aren't jumping in on the ride. And if the dropper comes, you can sell the pig with the black feet, if there is a good price going.
How would the like of her get a good price for a pig?
If the west wind holds, with the last bit of the moon, let you and Nora get up weed enough for another dog for the cow. Its hard set will be from this day I, an old woman looking for the groom. Is the boat coming to the bar?
She's passing the green heads, looking for her sails.
I'll have half an hour to go down. And you'll see me coming again in 2 days. Or in 3 days. Or maybe in 4 days, if the wind is bad. Isn't it a hard and cruel man who won't hear a word from an old woman, and she holding him from the sea?
It's the life of a young man to be going on the sea. And who will listen to an old woman with one thing, and she saying it over and over?
I must go now quickly and ride down on the red mare, and the grey pony will run behind me. The blessing of God on you. He is gone now! God spare us if we will not see him again. He is gone now, and when the black night is falling, I'll have no son left me in the world.
Why wouldn't you give him your blessing and leave him looking round at the door? Isn't it sorrow enough for everyone in this house without you sending him out with an unlucky word behind him and a hard word in his ear?
You're taking the church away from the king.
The Son of God spare us, nor are we forgetting his bit of bread.
And destroyed, he'll be gone till the dark night, after eating nothing since the sun went up.
Destroyed he'll be surely. There's no sense left on any person in a house where an old woman will be talking forever. Let you go down to the spring well and give him this while he's passing. You'll see him, and the dark word will be broken, and you can say, God speed you. That way he'll be easy in his mind.
Will I be there as soon as he?
If you go now, quickly.
It's hard said and do.
Give her the stick, Laura, or maybe she'll slip on the big stones.
What stick?
The stick Michael brought from Canberra.
In the big world, the old people are known to be leaving for the son and children. But in this place, it is the young men to be leaving things behind for them to be old.
Wait, Nora! Maybe she'll turn back quickly. She's that sorry. God help her. You wouldn't know the things she'd do.
Is she gone round by the bush?
She's gone now. Pass it to me quickly. For the Lord knows when she'll be out of here again.
The young priest said he'd be passing tomorrow, and we might go down and speak to him below. If they're Michael, surely.
Did he say what way they were found?
There were 2 men, says he, and they were rowing round with 14 before the cocks crowed, passing the black cliffs of the north, and the oar of one of them caught the body.
Give me a knife, Nora. The string's perished with the salt water, and there's a black knot on it you wouldn't lose it in a week.
I've heard tell. It was a long way to Donegal.
It is surely. There was a man in here a while ago. The man sold us this knife, and he said, if you set off walking from the rocks beyond, it would be 7 days you'd be in Donegal.
And what time would a man take if he were floating?
The Son of God spare us. Nora, isn't it a queer hard thing to say? If they are his, surely.
I'll get the shirt off the hook. The way we can put the one flannel on the other. It's not with them, Kathleen. And where will it be?
I think Bartley put it on him in the morning, for his old shirt was heavy with the salt in it. There's a bit of sleeve of the same fabric. Give me that in tutu. It's the same stuff, Nora. But if it is, aren't there great rolls of it in the shops of Galway and many another man that may have a shirt of it as well as Michael himself?
It's Michael's. Kathleen, it's Michael's. God spare his soul. And what will Mama say when she hears this story? And with Bartley on the sea.
It's a plain stocking.
It's the second one of the third pair I knitted. And I put up 80 stitches. And I dropped 4 of them. Is that not what it is? Oh, Nora! Isn't it a bitter thing to think of it floating that way to the far north? And no one to keep him, but the black hat that to be flying on the sea. And isn't it a pitiful thing when there is nothing left of a man who was a great roarer and a fisher, but a bit of an old shirt and a plain stocking?
Tell me, is she coming, Nora? I hear a little sound on the back.
She is. Kathleen, she's coming up to the door.
Put these things away before she'll come in. Maybe she'll be easy after she's given her blessings to Barney. And we won't let on anything we've heard the time is on the sea.
We'll put them here in the corner. Will she see it? 'Twas crying I was.
Keep your back to the door. The way the light will not be on you. You didn't give him his bit of bread? Did you see him riding down? God forgive you. Isn't it a better thing to raise your voice and tell what you see than to be making lamentation for a thing that's done? Did you see Bartley? I'm saying it to you.
My heart's broken from this day.
Did you see Bartley?
I've seen the fearfulest thing.
God forgive you. He's riding down on the red mare over the green hedge, and the grey pony behind him.
The great pony behind him.
What is it that ails you? It's all.
I've seen the fearfulest thing any person has seen since the day Bright Dara seen the dead man with the child in his arms. Tell us, what is it you've seen? I went down to the spring well, and I stood there saying a prayer to myself. Then Bartley came along, and he riding on the red mare with the great pony behind him. Ah, the Son of God spares Nora.
What is it you see?
I have seen Michael himself.
It wasn't Michael you see, for his own body is after being found in the far north, and he's got a clean burial by the grace of God.
I've seen him this day with him riding and galloping. Bartley came first on the red mare, and I tried to say, God speed you, but something choked the words in my throat. He went by quickly, and the blessing of God on you says you, and I could say nothing. I looked up there, and I cried at the great pony, and there was Michael upon him, with fine clothes on him, and new shoes on his feet.
It's destroyed we are from this day. It's destroyed, Charlie.
Didn't the young priest say the Almighty God wouldn't leave her destitute with no son living?
It's little the like of him knows of the sea.
Bartley will be lost now, unless you call him evil and make me a good coffin out of the white rose, for I won't live after that. I've had a husband's father, and 6 sons in this house, 6 fine men. Though it was a hard work with them when they come into the world, and some of them were far, and some of them were not far. But they are gone now, the lot of them. There is Stephen and Sean, that were lost in the great winds, and found after in the bay of Gregory of Golden Mount, and carried up the 2 of them on the one plank and then by the door.
Did you hear that? Kathleen, did you hear a noise from the northeast?
There's someone after crying out by the seashore.
There was Seamus and his father, and his own father again, were lost in the dark nights, and not a stick or sign was seen of them when the sun went up. There was Patch, who was drowned out of a carack that turned over. I was sitting here with Bartley, and he a baby lying on my knees. And I seen 2 women, and 3 women, and 4 women coming in, and they crossing themselves and not saying a word. I looked out there, and there were men coming after them, and they carrying a thing in the half of a rexon, and water dripping out of it. It was a dry day, Nora, and leaving a track to that door. Is it Patch? Or Michael? Or what is it at all?
down on the sea. And what way would they know if it was Michael they had, or another man like him? For when a man is 9 days in the sea, and the wind blowing, it's hard set as a mother would be to say, what man is it?
It's Michael. God spare him. For the sentence a bit of his clothes from the farmer.
They're carrying a thing among them, and there is water dripping out of it, leaving the tracks by the big stones. She was with Michael. And would anyone have thought that?
An old woman will be soon tired with anything she will do. And hasn't 9 days it been after her crying and keening and making great sorrow in the house?
They're all together this time, and the end has come. May the Almighty God have mercy on Marty's soul, and on Michael's soul, and on the souls of Seamus and Patch, and Stephen and Shaw. And may He have mercy on my soul, Nora, Kathleen, and on the soul of everyone that liveth in the world. Michael has a clean burial in the farmhouse, by the grace of God. Barty will have a fine coffin out of the white bones, and a deep grave surely. What more can we want than that? No man at all can be living forever, and we must be satisfied.
That summarizes the presentation the four houses had for us. My dear friends, when I think of the one-act plays, what comes to my mind is first the choice of the play, then the characters required for them, and finally the individuals who would be getting into the characters so that we do not see some names or we do not hear some names, but we see the real living being portrayed for us. After having seen the 4 one-act plays now, first I'd like to congratulate for the choice of the plays and also for the people who decided to play a role in that, in all 4 of them. What makes a one-act play a one-act play? Long plays, we know, we have various scenes, we have so many different characters, serious, light ones. But when it comes to one-act play, in such a short time, the entire message has to be portrayed in just one scene. And that's where the power of each of the characters matter. They can keep us spellbound, or we can be totally distracted and wonder what will happen next. I congratulated the characters here, but I think what is more important and even more significant is to congratulate those who selected the plays, the one-act plays. Because it is those wise men and women who chose those one-act plays and then got the individuals to act the plays. And therefore, together with their mentors, the actors, and the house captains, I'd like to congratulate all the staff and teaching as well as non-teaching. And of course, the principal herself, because without her help, without her encouragement, probably the one-act play fest wouldn't be possible. Finally, I don't mind people winning, losing, because this is always part of the game. I don't think there is any time except in the game of cricket. Sometimes they have joint winners. Otherwise, there is always a winner and a loser. But whenever there are 2 teams involved, and here we have 4, and therefore there will be always a feeling that we thought we were the best, but we were judged the last. Or somebody might say, well, we did everything to the best of our abilities,